And we're live.
Hello! Hi, Cara.
Well, hello there.
Oh, it's like we were surprised that, like, what the
I,
hell? We're on a show? What happened? That's
I
amazing.
know. It
Hello.
is.
It's the Sweet Subversive Show. How did this
It
happen?
is. It
I, I
is.
was just looking at porn and all of a sudden there was a show.
Who
And
knew?
who knew? It's like, wow, this
It's
is so
Debbie. And Debbie's in
good.
Minnesota. So our friend Debbie is actually she's in Owatonna right now. And it's driving me crazy because I want to get down there, but I have had like work crap.
How is she so close already?
She's quick, man. So
Oh,
yeah,
and
she's camping in hey Jared. So
Jared,
she's camping in Owatonna. Congratulations to Jared, or condolences, maybe condolences
Jared.
on his election. So
Yay!
but so Debbie, our friend, um, Debbie and I and Heather, we've been friends for a long time. Um,
Forever.
met Debbie on the Anne McCaffrey. This was before Facebook and all that kind of shit. So this is when there were bulletin boards.
Yeah.
That was the neat
That
thing,
was
right?
the time of like MySpace and LiveJournal and like, oh
It was
God,
actually slightly before
before that,
LiveJournal.
because you guys met first. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so we met on that, and then we met Dragon Con and did all that kind of stuff. Oh, David, so good to see you. Yay. Very good
Yay!
to see you.
Joined. Hi,
But yeah, so we
David.
were able to meet and that was really good. And we have stayed in contact for years and years and years. And so she is driving her beautifully redone RV, and Heather and I are going to camp with her for almost a week coming up. So
Yay!
next Wednesday we'll be out there. So we'll see what our signal is like.
Oh my God, right? Maybe we'll have to do it on my phone. I don't know. That didn't work so well in the Twin Cities, but maybe out, who knows?
Maybe out in the boonies.
It might work better. You never know.
I
We'll have
know,
to
I know.
see. Or so if you don't see us next week, that we got eaten by bears, and that's there's no show then. But we're gonna try. We will try. And then maybe
Yes.
Debbie can be our guest speaker.
Yes, that would
That
be
would
good.
we
That would
can
be really good.
talk about RV life. That would be super fun show actually.
It would be. It
Because
would
I
be.
kind of want to run away.
So we have some good things coming up. We have,
Yes,
I
hairy
mean,
guy.
right, gay bears. So we have many states that are working on their petitions to get Joe Jorgensen on the ballot. Minnesota is one of those. I think we're getting close. But I mean, you know how it is when you're petitioning. You can't just get the number of signatures needed. You need to go like way over and above, because otherwise the two old parties try to strike you off the ballot.
They're kind of
Um,
jerky about that.
yeah, and I know Pennsylvania, I saw them feverishly trying to check their petitions and make sure everything on there was valid before they handed in. They have been working their butts off, but we have so many states right now that are in the midst of petitioning. And like the crazy thing in Pennsylvania was the Democratic Party went all out, because the Libertarian Party and the Greens, they did a lawsuit to try to at least reduce the number of signatures needed, or at least not have to gather 5,000 signatures in person with a piece of paper during a pandemic. Yeah, handing it. And yes, New Hampshire got a court-ordered reduction, which was fantastic. Minnesota did not get a reduction, which sucks. And so the Democratic Party actually filed in Pennsylvania and said, no, it's actually not a big deal. They should totally have to still collect signatures, because I don't think COVID is actually that big of a deal. I am not kidding you. That's what they argued in court. Yeah, that's what they argued in court.
Well, I think it's a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal.
It is
I'm just
kind
going to
of.
say it's kind of a big deal. And so they have been out, just like our volunteers have been out, just like I've been out,
Yeah.
you know,
Way to go.
in masks, trying to do the best you can. Because let me tell you, people really enjoy you approaching them with a clipboard and handing them a pen to sign a piece of paper. Like people are super excited about that.
Yeah, man. I think it's putting us up against a huge like all this like difficult things. Like it's like an
Yes.
impossible epic quest to get our candidates on the ballot.
I know, but you know what? Our activists are doing it. Like they are
Mhm.
working their butts off. And so, yep, you're out there and it's 90 degrees in the shade and there is no shade.
There is no shade.
and and you have your mask on and you are, doing the best you can to be respectful of people and their boundaries and safe feeling of safety, while at the same time advocating for your candidate just to be able to be on the ballot so you can vote for them. But our activists have been working so hard. And it's been amazing watching the volunteers come out and do this and figure out, because there's not events that you can go to, right? So you can't just go
Right.
to a county fair or something and collect signatures.
It's all
So
canceled.
yeah,
Like that's what we
2020
used to
is
do.
canceled.
I know
2020 has been
I know
canceled.
one year we went camping and like you brought a
Yes,
clipboard and you're like, let's walk around and get some signatures. I'm like, this is
I
really
did.
good, but you totally got them.
Yeah, I did. I
It was
did.
awesome.
Well, because we were up against it, because we needed to get those signatures. And so yeah, so when we were camping that weekend, I'm like, I can't really take the weekend off of not getting signatures. So yeah, I went to every campsite and asked people to
And people were
sign
like,
my petition.
because I figure
Yeah,
they're like out, they're not doing anything, and they also really can't
right.
run away because they're camping. So, or they can go in the woods, I guess. But
Captive audience.
captive audience, baby. So maybe like, oh, maybe we'll be doing some signatures next week. Who knows? Wait, when's the deadline?
So in Minnesota, I think, is it August 13th? I think it's
Okay, we're cutting
August
it
13th.
pretty close then.
I
Yeah.
know. So I have my last sheet that I'm trying to get filled out. I want to hand in another full sheet, so I want to get 9 more signatures. So
How close are they getting? Do you know if we're getting close?
I think we're close, but so say you need 2,000 signatures. You want
Yeah.
to get 3,000.
Okay, so you may have reached it, but you want to get above and beyond.
You got to go way
Because
above and
they
beyond.
could question them,
Yeah,
and
because
you
if
don't want
you
anything to get thrown out.
Yeah, because if you get 3,000, they won't even challenge it. But say you get 2,200.
Then they
Oh,
will.
they're gonna go line by line on that sucker.
Oh, that's so frustrating. I hate it. It's just such an unfair system. It's not right. And it's just, they stack the deck.
Oh, yeah, it's purposeful.
Here's something that David had said
Yes.
about the RV industry, which kind of ties back into
Mhm.
Debbie. Consider the
Tooling
bleeding.
around in her awesome RV.
I
I
know,
can't
I
wait to
love
see it.
it. Temporary housing during pandemic and eviction
Uh-huh.
concerns. RVs equipped for living, business, and homeschooling. Thoughts? I'm like,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think that could be a good way to like get people in a place that's safe. And if you get evicted, you're out in the streets, and a lot of times people are in homeless camps, and then they're
Right.
targeting the homeless camps. So
Exactly. Although I'll tell you, RVs are not cheap.
they're not. No, I mean, like some of them are up to like around 100. Well, I mean, like a lot of them are 100,000. Like they're about the
Yeah.
price of a small house anyway.
Yeah. And of course, government has a lot of restrictions on where you can park your RV.
That's so
How long
true.
you can park your RV. Like in Minnesota, it is not legal to live in an RV. You can vacation in an RV, but you cannot live in an RV.
It just bugs the crap out of me that there are rules on that. Like, who gives a crap where someone lives? Like, if
Right.
it has wheels on your house. And let's see here. Oh, Jared was saying about the ballot access. Yeah, 2 states.
Yes.
Ballot access is so worthy. But okay, back to RVs. Sorry, I get like shiny. Ooh, shiny. I was reading about different states and if you lived in an RV, how you could make it
Right.
possible. And South Dakota actually had some really cool rules about
Yeah.
residency that I was very surprised by, that you didn't actually need a house to be a resident of South Dakota. So I think people who like live in RVs, that would be a great resident. And like I
Yes.
think the main thing was like you needed to have a driver's license through there, and that was
Yes.
the
Yep.
in a post office box. It,
Yeah. Although, Jared, you can have a post office box as your permanent address.
yes, and
Mhm.
so permanent address is basically where you're filing your taxes, and
Yeah,
the theft where they're going to thieve from you.
that's
So
right.
but I mean, I was surprised that it's so hard in some states for someone who's living in an RV to have a residency if that's their
Oh
only
yeah.
domicile.
Yeah, in Minnesota it is simply not possible.
That's just crazy.
It's not
And
possible.
I was like, I go down rabbit holes all the time, and I'm like, what?
I know.
Who cares where you
Yeah,
live? You could live in a van down by the river for all I care if that makes you happy, but you can't. You
yeah,
need to live in a shack down by the river, and you better own that property.
exactly.
Pay
And
property.
so David also brought up homeschooling,
Oh yeah,
business and homeschooling. And I think most every state is hearing a lot about homeschooling, micro schooling, pod schooling, everything. Like every parents are trying to figure this out, right?
oh yeah,
Um, because there's a lot of challenges. You could be a parent who you're looking at the situation and you're saying, you know what, I am not comfortable having my child attend in-person school for whatever reason, either because you are concerned about COVID infection, or you're concerned about the school environment because of the procedures that they have to go through, and that would be bad for your child's mental and social health.
right.
So for whatever reason, you may be looking at it saying, nope, not happening. You may be looking at it and saying, well, our school is going to be doing online only. Um, but it sucks. Like it's not really online school, and I feel bad for the teachers and I feel bad for the kids, but that is not going to work for my kid. It's not going to work because really it's pandemic schooling. It's not distance learning, and it's not really online schooling.
No,
That's a way more organized thing than what's actually happening. Yep, Indiana homeschooling laws are amazing. We actually have really good homeschooling laws in Minnesota as well, which make it extremely easy. So parents are saying, enough. I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to get together, and they have been. They've been getting together with other parents, and it's been kind of neat watching them in these parents groups talk about, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get this teacher, and we're going to blah blah blah. And for some of them, they're still going to utilize the school district's online schooling, but they're hiring a teacher to assist the kids. So they're getting together with a group of 3 or 4 families. They have a teacher, and then that teacher is going to assist them through the day with their schooling. Also, because a lot of the parents, they can't be home during the day. They're going to have to go in and go to work. More places are calling their employees back into work. So, they're looking at doing that. But what other parents are doing is they're going all out. So they're renting a studio apartment,
oh yeah,
because then they have a place to drop the kids off and pick them up. There's a bathroom and there's a kitchen.
oh yeah. So
And
everything
then
you could need.
and they're hiring a full-time teacher. And they're saying, we're going to microschool it. And in Minnesota, for someone else to teach kids in a microschool setting, the only thing they need is a BA degree in anything. It does not have to be in childhood education or anything like that. They just That's what they need. For you to teach your own kids, you don't need anything. It is assumed a parent is a valid teacher. So if you're just teaching your own, so I mean, we're seeing some really, yeah. We have co-op schooling. We have you know cottage schooling. I've
Oh
heard of
yeah,
that as well, cottage schooling. So there's all kinds of solutions that parents are coming up with, and that I've actually found really exciting and hopeful.
oh
Um,
yeah.
I've also seen in some states, because it does create a disparity, right? Lower income kids, they're like, their parents don't have the money to just pay for a teacher.
No.
But what some states are doing is they're saying, you know what, we're going to take some of that theft money
Ooh.
that we have go to the school district, but we're going to tie it to the child. And we're going to give the parents a portion of that money so that they can pay for private school or a pod teaching program or all that kind of stuff. Not Minnesota, mind you, but some states are doing that, and they are doing that so that they can erase some of that disparity.
I
And
think
I
it
would
could
love to see that expanded. I would
I would
love to
love
see
to
that.
see that. I was thinking about that is maybe you'd have a lot of schools, a lot of colleges are going to have layoffs. I know this is going to happen.
Yeah,
But there
I
might be amazing
know.
teachers that are available that
And
you
they
could
could make
hire.
bank.
They could make, I know, I was just like, huh, if I get laid off, I will be like, anyone need a librarian with 2 master's degrees to teach your kids? Because I'm freaking awesome and I love
I'll
kids.
tell you, Heather, have you looked at what some of these teachers are getting paid to do pod teaching? And I'm not talking they're teaching the richy rich kids. I
No,
am
no,
not saying that. Have you seen what they're getting paid?
no.
Holy crap. Like some of them are saying, okay, I taught at a private school, but I quit because I'm going to make double.
Dude. So, like if things go bad, maybe like that could be an option for certain teachers and educators.
It would not be an option for me because
Well,
I
there's
don't
also like kids.
I don't really like
If
kids.
you don't like kids, don't teach. I know people who don't like kids who also teach, and I'm like, what the hell? You gotta like people, I think, if you want to be a teacher, not just your subject, not just like, and definitely not money because it really doesn't pay. But
Right.
like you gotta at least like kids, I think.
Yeah.
And if you don't, that's why I don't think a lot of parents are totally equipped to it. I mean, you like your own kids a little bit, but you don't want to be around them all the time. I mean, I understand that. You were kind of excited to send them to school so they could learn things and come back and you have things to talk about. But you're around them all day. I think it would get a little old. I get it. I don't have kids, so
Oh,
it would be like I would be cool with that. And I'm like, I feel like I'm doing an interview. So if you want to hire me, throw your money my way.
exactly.
I am
Well, and
purchasable.
here's the thing. It isn't even the kids. It's that I'm not a patient person at all. I have very little patience. And in order to be a decent human being around children and not be a jerk,
Yeah.
you have to have some patience. And I don't. And then I'm a jerk.
I think
Work is my relief time. Yep.
I mean I get that because like sometimes you get around people at your job and you're like, oh my god, come on. And it's like everything you can do to not tell them to jump off a cliff or whatever or worse.
Right.
But
Right.
children, like they have this innocence that they get away with a lot in my mind, but you also go, you can't scream at people for being assholes when they're 8.
Right. Because that makes you a bad person.
It does. And so,
Right.
yes, I've met people who have unlimited patience, and I find them fascinating. And
I'm
um,
impressed by that, but yeah,
but,
no, that's not me.
but it's not totally me either. And that's why I've been working with college age students because it's a lot more easier for me to understand. But it still comes with their own problems, a lot of their
Yes.
own hang-ups.
Well, and as some of my candidates that I assist find out, they find out I have very limited patience. I mean, here's the thing: if they're working hard and all that kind of stuff, I'm on board and I'm helping them. It's when they start screwing around and all that
You're
kind
like, come on. Oh,
I have been known to slam my hands down on the table and go, "Hey, take this serious.
well, yeah,
Get
crappy
your shit
parents.
focused."
Get your shit together, people. Oh,
And they're
okay.
like,
I have one thing I was going to tell you. It's sort of like, oh, it's not a surprise, but it's something I was like, I've been thinking about because my husband told me this thing in the news in Mankato, where I live, and I'm going to do a share screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Do your magic.
I'm going to do my magic. Okay, here we go. So, in Mankato, no candidates filed in Mankato as school board filing opens. There was one today, and I know him. So here's the thing. Like, I don't have any kids, so I don't know, like, who would, like.
Are you gonna file, Heather?
I could, Cara, and I mean,
Are
like,
you gonna file?
So this is one of those things that people go through because Kara's been on me for a long time.
Yes.
For like basically there's 4 seats open. They have a lot of seats. One person who Abdi, who I actually work with at South Central College, he's going to go for re-election, and I might like send him an email and ask him about it, what it's like. But I hear it's a lot of crazy work and stuff that goes through, like,
there is
the school board. But I'm in education, so like my husband, like, I don't know why he showed this to me because it's not the kind of thing he normally would even mention, and I'm like, what? And I felt like, I know somebody who does candidate training.
Yes.
And so it means there's 3 seats that no former
no one has filed yet, so they're open seats
until like the 11th of August.
Well, yeah, because that's when it closes, right? That's when your filing deadline is August 11th.
So yes,
because here's the thing. So some people they wait until the very last day to file.
Yes.
But yes, and look at Eric is saying too, you need to file
for school board. I think it would be really interesting because, as you know, I hate censorship. And I hate some of the stuff they're doing to kids right now. And I think I would be a voice of reason for any school board. But I am like, I'm a little terrified because I've never done anything like that.
My nephew-in-law, he filed for school board today down in Austin, Minnesota.
Oh, we could like take over.
Yeah, so I'm going to be meeting with him this weekend to help him get his campaign in order.
I'm thinking I might be talking to you more because Cara, as you guys may know, is the guru for candidate training. And I just want to point out that she is super awesome at that. And also won an award for her hard work as a candidate trainer for the whole country. And she is in a video that I'm going to show in a little bit too. Oh, I also like I can hear myself all of a sudden. That's weird. Stop. Okay.
Yes. They said, one of them says, I think you would be a great advocate for liberty on a school board.
I think that we need that. And I live in a community where so
file, Heather, file.
I feel like I was thinking about like all this and I go, God, I shouldn't. And I'm like, but maybe I should.
Yes, you should.
So I might be talking to you, Cara. Cara, here, somebody who I have to look on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
The names. Who did it? David. Nope, that wasn't. Where was this? Oh, this is Amber.
Yes, Amber. Yes. And oh my God, such a good candidate.
That's awesome.
Such a good candidate. She ran a really good race.
Well, and I think the race could be different considering if like we get a lot of opposition, if there's other people running. If it's just me, I'll be like, wow, this could be great. But I have this feeling that there'll be like at least 10 people that, like at the last minute. So
you never know, though.
You
never know.
Like 2020, people are like, oh, there's just too much crap this year. I'm not going to do it.
Well, I think people are looking at it and they're saying, how would I even campaign? I can't door knock. I can't blah, blah, blah. I can't.
You can do it lots of ways.
You can do it lots of ways. You can do it.
That's why I'm like, if you are thinking about it, you should definitely talk to Cara, and I'm going to talk to Cara.
This is Cara's happy face.
I know. I was like, I was going to, like, that was part of my good news for the week, but I had to show you because we've been talking about school stuff now, and I'm like, oh my God. Ah.
That's pretty exciting.
So far there's one candidate who's from the original group.
An incumbent. Yep.
An incumbent, right? And
incumbents tend to file right away because the thought there is to let everyone know this is not an open seat. This is my seat.
Yep.
So
Which doesn't always, it isn't always true, but
No, it isn't. But
who's
incumbents, if
gonna
they're
get
going to
it?
run, they tend to file immediately. So you could have some open seats, and open seats, man, I love them open seats.
Yeah, no, we can get some like really cool people.
Libertarians do so good with open seats. When our candidates run for open seats, like there's an open seat and it's a local level election,
Oh, yeah.
we do crazy well. I think, God, I want to say it was 42% victory.
Yes. Oh, Jesus.
So
Okay. And this is a 4-year term. I'm just going to point out. That's kind of crazy.
it's a 4-year sentence.
Yeah. It's and I've heard that people are like, it's hard. It's really, really hard work up there
Yeah,
with what the city council does. And,
it is. It
and,
is.
and you got
Yeah.
to deal with parents who are intensely
Crazy pants.
crazy pants. So that will be fun. But since I don't have kids, I don't have to worry about my own children being like picked
Right.
on or anything. So I'm like, nah, don't care. So yay, Cara, early Christmas present. We like I remember I went to your training session not too long ago, and you were
Yes.
talking about like, oh, who's going here? Who's going here? Who's going here? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe. And then I'm like, shit, now I am. So ha 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 ha. So that's good. But I also wanted to show, because there's like a famous person like sitting next to me on the screen, Cara. And can I show your video? Like the video
Well,
that you
yeah, it's not my video, but it's a really good video. And it was of the convention.
that is going to
So
be
I like
awesome.
that. Yeah.
I'm going to add that again because I gotta make sure the sound's turned on for that. Let's see. Share audio.
And you people at home, let us know that the audio is working.
Yes, because I'll play it twice if I have to.
Don't make her do that.
Don't make her do it. Okay, I'm gonna pop this open big. I don't know if it makes a difference.
We are pro-liberty, pro-freedom, pro-free market, pro-people able to trade with each other.
We are here in Orlando, Florida,
Ooh.
with hundreds of delegates, both
feedback.
here in person and
Sir?
online, and we are working to begin the process of a party that is going to set America free.
We don't hurt people and we don't steal their stuff.
My first day in office, I would start bringing the troops home. I would meet with the Pentagon and say, okay, we're planning to bring everybody home. How can we do it peacefully? How can we do it quickly? Because the longer we stay where we shouldn't be, the more problems we're going to be causing.
The idea of the Libertarian Party, the Libertarian movement, is to get people to want to be here, to want to do it, to pursue happiness in the way they want to do it, not just to beat the other guy. We are the only party that's actually about you being better.
I feel like I became a libertarian in the 5th grade. I had a teacher who was big on history, big on 1776, Revolutionary War. He taught us what it meant. He taught us why it happened. He taught us what we were looking to free ourselves from. And that stuck with me, and I've always been independently minded.
You have to have an idea that other people, like the average person, is a decent person just like you are. And if you talk with them and engage with them, you can convince them to do the right thing. And most people will. And we see that over and over and over. That plays out. Most people do the right thing. And that's kind of the key to libertarianism.
I'm really optimistic about this opportunity for us to have this like really smart, really capable woman who's speaking out. And like, it's 100 years since women got the right to vote. We've got this woman running for president. I think it makes a really powerful statement.
I'm always hopeful when I get around people that aren't looking to the government for solutions.
So I think there's a very bright future ahead.
Libertarians actually and factually, literally saved my life.
Across the country, there's like 64 libertarians running for the U.S. House of Representatives. If not even half, but even if 1/3 of us won our races, we would have enough people to stop the oppressive two-party system.
I just know that we have a tremendous opportunity right now.
And yes, the people, the American people, are starving for that.
I'm so glad I have a third option because, you know, otherwise I just wouldn't vote, you know, and instead I get to make a statement that I disagree with these other two parties and I vote for this one.
We are coming together to tell the message to the American people that we are going to set them free, that we are going to end the harmful and crony-friendly policies of the Republicans and Democrats, and pave way for a new future, a future where we have our power back, a future where we have our rights and our property back where it belongs, in our hands, where it always belonged, to be able to interact with each other in a voluntary and peaceful way, instead of having it imposed on us. And we are going to remove the boot from the neck of the American people as they seek to thrive in ways that right now seem unimaginable. And in Orlando now is where that starts. And I am more excited than ever to be a libertarian.
See, that was good. They did a really good job with that. And you saw some of our you saw some of our candidates on there, and you know, we have some good candidates. I mean, yes, of course, our presidential and vice presidential.
Sorry.
Our presidential and our vice presidential candidates are really excellent, but man, we got some really good other candidates. And so you got to see a few of those. Like Tanya, she's a really good candidate. You know, I'm excited about her race. She's hardworking, all that kind of stuff. Thomas as well. I mean, he's just, you know, pounding it. So I'm really excited about this year. I'm excited about our prospects this year.
Me too. I think there's a lot of hardworking people and good people in our party. Yeah. So I'm really excited. And I got to meet Spike Cohen, who's a really nice guy. And I just feel like, you know, why can't we have people in charge that are nice people that you'd want to talk to? I think this would be a great change.
Yeah, that that have good ideas, but they're also decent human beings.
I like that combination.
It's a good combination. So I have a question for people watching, and this is, you'll get to do some participation here. Yeah. So in Minnesota, masks are now mandated by the state. And so I will be wearing one in my city council meetings. So I'm looking for slogans and sayings that I can put on with a paint pen onto my masks, because I'm going to have a different one each week. So if I'm going to be mandated by the state to wear a mask, I'm going to be using it for political speech. And it is televised and it is streamed and watched over and over and over. So I am interested in what others think are good messages for me to put on my masks for during city council for whatever messaging.
I mean, how far can you go though? I mean, because I mean, if you put taxation as theft, would it work, or would they be like, Cara, no?
As long as it's not vulgar.
Well, I mean, I was on my Facebook today. I was talking about like a button I used to have was question authority, and I like that one. I mean, it depends on how you spin this, really. I mean, do you want it to be like freedom, like they will never take off?
David has an idea.
You could have like a Braveheart one, or you could have like a V for Vendetta one, like, you know, with the, I mean, like, but do you want it to be words every time?
Nope, it can be symbols, because I can tell you one of them is going to be the V for Vendetta symbol.
I like that. I'm just thinking, oh God. I mean, and you could also like look at your agenda too and see which sayings kind of match the theme of the day. You know, if you're doing something with housing, find a quote that you know, talks about people need 1984. Oh God, who said that? I love that. I love it. That's always one of my things. I feel like we're living in 1984 in 2020. Amber.
Well, and I have a Google document that I'm putting a list of them down so I can get them listed and then decide, you know, which ones I want to do and that kind of stuff. So I'll be adding these to. Eric has one with a bandana with peace signs. That's always good. You know, probably my first one will say that health decisions shouldn't be criminalized.
Yeah.
Because
They kind of are being that way.
We criminalize a lot of them, and it's not just a mask mandate. We criminalize a lot of health decisions.
Well, and I don't know what I would say, but like I think about our people in like elder care, something that would talk about save our elder care people, you know. Sort of like I think about Save Ferris. You remember from like the Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and it was on everything. I was just like save grandma. I don't know. Or something. But then your grandma might be like, "What? I'm here. I'm okay."
Yeah, no, I'm good.
LP logo, I like that.
Of course. I'm
gonna put a couple of these up.
Yeah.
My bananas with peace signs. And then LP logo. I like that. I would put a porcupine up every so often. That would be nice because we know what it means. People are like, what's that?
You can always throw up the porcupine.
That's right. Oh, God. What else? There's so many ways you can go.
I know. I'm just trying not to use swear words.
Well, okay. I have this weird idea. Like, you know, with Fight Club, they have like if it's your first night at Fight Club, you have to fight. So if it's your first night at Burnsville City Council, you have to fight. I don't know. I don't know if people would take it the wrong way, but I'm just like, oh, so Burnsville Fight Club, the city council version or something. I don't know. It could be really weird, but yeah, I like it. It's a really good idea. So you guys need to send Cara your ideas because right now I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, and I'll also pop it up on Facebook so I can try to figure out ideas.
Or like This Is the Way, like The Mandalorian.
That would be good. This
Yeah,
is the way. That would be good.
only so much will fit. I believe me. Like I think people will like do screenshots, Debbie, and they will like zoom in on Cara's face and try to read the whole damn thing and figure out what she's got to say.
Well, and one of them is, so I was thinking, you know, good ideas don't require force. Google voluntarism.
I like that.
Because that might get people curious enough to actually do that. I don't know.
That's true. It's kind of awesome.
So, yeah.
I think that it could be a lot of fun. Oh, here.
Yes. Yeah, Debbie's like, it's a mask. You can only put so much on there. Oh, yeah. Immunity from statism. Very good. But
cool.
so I'll be doing some arts and crafts each week. I'm sure my fellow city councilors
or like my roads. Like if you're doing something with the roads and stuff. Who is that masked libertarian? I like that just because, like, okay, one of the funny things I saw for, you know, like, could you walk into a place and wear like a Lone Ranger mask, which obviously, you know, it covers only like part of your eyes, and then they'll be like, "There's a mask law," and you're like, "This is a mask."
I think they're a little more specific about that.
Dang it.
Although they're starting to float now that you need to wear eye goggles.
Oh my God. I'm going to wear my shield, my face shield.
And I'm like, I'm already wearing glasses. What do you want from me?
I actually Googled like helmets today because I was like, is it going to go that far? And you know what I came up with, Cara? Like NFL and like college teams are coming up with like football helmets that have like the face shield, but also a type of this. And the football players are like, how the hell am I going to play in that? I'm going to die. You know, like it's crazy. I can't imagine trying to play football. The Road Warrior.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So
that is very true. That is very true.
I think if they had built-in air conditioning, I would consider a helmet.
Space helmets, very good. Judge Dredd helmets.
Those we wore that for costume one year, and that's pretty fun.
That would be good.
We
do a little Judge Dredd. Put
But-
my badge on.
So you go into your meeting, I am the law. Right? I am the law. Mhm.
Don't tempt me.
Right? Always. Always. We always have good ideas. So yes, that's
I could look at my fellow city councilors. Are you ready? You look ready.
oh my god. People keep coming up with ideas. Read them over.
I know. I know. See, this could be fun.
It could be a lot of fun, and we could get in lots of trouble, which is extra good.
I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. I don't know that everyone else is going to have a lot of fun with this, but I am.
I feel like as long as you're having fun, who gives a shit what they all think? I have to work at least 1 to 2 days each week during the school semester. And part of me was thinking about doing full costume every day.
Nice.
But I'm gonna have to start planning costumes if I'm gonna, like, because that's like only a few weeks away, and I have a few already. But like, I'm gonna have to like, find a matching face mask or something with my shield to kind of like decorate it up, because I have a Sansa Stark outfit that would be awesome, and
that would be good.
I could put my crown around my shield, and like it could be awesome. So. I just don't know if I would get it talking to you or not.
David's thinking this could be a fundraising opportunity.
I think so too. Yes. Like we could have I think that would make it more socially acceptable too. If you told like, hey, I'm gonna be doing this, and if people like what I'm wearing or whatever, they can donate money to the cause of choice.
Do it kind of like how we pick the theme for the convention.
Yeah. Oh, they could vote on it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Cara.
Yeah,
but
you vote with donations,
but
donations.
You have to build it in that it can't be vulgar because it's like city council.
Right.
But you can make it pretty close. It could be fun.
So this is one of those things that I haven't told my husband yet that I'm doing.
Well, yeah, there's things I haven't told Andy. I'm like, it's probably for the best. And then he finds out, he's like, oh, it's okay. But I think he'd think it'd be funny, especially
no.
No. I think it's funny, so I'm like, do it. Just do it. There's nothing wrong with having fun. Well, maybe sometimes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, so we have some states that are hitting filing deadlines too.
Yep.
In fact, a lot of our states have hit filing deadlines for all of the larger elected offices, but we have our municipal and some county, but mainly municipal and lower offices that are still open through August, just like yours that you're going to be filing for.
Yep.
That are through August. So it's pretty exciting. So we're working on getting those candidates set and helping candidates get into shifting into their last sprint here. It's a lengthy sprint, but they're entering into their final sprint of their campaign season. We are seeing success with door knocking. You're knocking and then you're taking a decent step back, usually off their step or to the very back. And that's going pretty well. SMS campaigns, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that our candidates are doing. They're raising a lot of money. Have you seen how much money our presidential ticket has raised?
Quite a bit, isn't it?
It is. They're doing really well.
They're so good.
So we have so many spectacular things that are happening in the party right now. It's fun watching. Oh, don't do a Hannibal Lecter mask. Yeah, no, that would be a little creepy. Our new LNC is off to a really good start.
Good. I was wondering how things are going.
Very productive, off to a really good start. That first meeting went extremely smoothly. It's been it's been pretty enjoyable. So
Well, I mean, I saw, what is it? Joe and Ken were like putting their heads together right away after they were elected, and I'm like going, good.
immediately.
They have lots of good plans, and they're hardworking people, so I know they're gonna do a lot in their time in office. So here, I'm very happy.
Yeah, I am too. And, talk about libertarians copying good. So yesterday, Cassandra Fryer, Mayor Fryer,
Yes,
my
right?
dad, Mayor Fryer of Plymouth. So she is the mayor in Plymouth, Ohio, and she's done some fantastic stuff. And I'll tell you the big thing that she did, but I have to preface it with the smaller things that she did first, which got her to the point where she could do this big, awesome thing.
Yeah.
She needed to change the culture on her city council, and she needed to gain respect. She needed to have a better system of how they were doing their meetings, and she needed to increase transparency because she needed residents to be able to see what they were doing. And she also needed her council to know that they were being watched by their residents, and that was important.
Good.
And so what she did was she started live streaming on her own, their city council meetings. And then she made it part of that. And now it's the city that's doing it. So now it's a city thing, right? That their meetings are live streamed. So any resident can now watch them, and there's a lot more transparency.
Awesome.
She has increased the civility on their city council meetings, how it's done, how it's conducted. It's a lot more professional now. So it's been amazing to watch her accomplish this in a very short period of time. 1 second, sorry.
Oh no, you coughed.
I know,
Oh,
I know.
Am I gonna get virtual COVID now? Shit.
I might have ruined it, everyone. Sorry.
Thank you.
But she's just, so she was able to set those things up, right? She was able to get her meetings organized in a much more professional and organized manner. So in doing that work first, not just jumping into it, but doing that work first, she was able to get a vote through to decriminalize marijuana in her city.
That's what I read. I was like, oh my Lord.
There is no fine. There is no ticket. There is no jail sentence. Yes, this is for a personal amount, right? It's for a personal amount. And it's because Ohio, like other states that have medical marijuana, if you get it from the state dispensary, it is so expensive. It is a pain in the butt to do. It's a hassle. It's so expensive. And so you have a lot of medical marijuana patients who have a card and absolutely cannot afford the medical marijuana.
No.
Can't afford it. But if they get it off the street, they are risking they're risking jail, they're risking fines, they're risking losing their jobs, all of those kinds of things.
Right.
And so she did a fantastic persuasive speech to her city council on why they should decriminalize marijuana. It was a 3-3 council vote. And as mayor, she got to cast the deciding vote to decriminalize it.
Yeah.
So she did an amazing job, spectacular. And I know people will look at this and they will see just the vote of decriminalizing marijuana and they will celebrate that. And that is something to celebrate. But I will tell you, it's the months of hard work that she did long before that.
People never see that.
And
I know you've done a lot of hard work behind the scenes for city council too, and as a mayor, that you really care about your community and the people that you're serving for, and that's just amazing. Her hard work should be celebrated.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was just ecstatic. I've been watching her along this path. We've chatted a few times about strategies when you're on city council and, things like that. She is very conscientious. I expect really good things from her in the future. And I 100% believe that if she wants to run for higher office at a future date, she may or she may not. That's, up to her. She's someone that could climb the ranks.
That's awesome. I love seeing that.
She is. She's great.
Awesome. I just feel like that just makes me super happy that, all the good that she's done already.
Yeah. She's going to make a huge impact in people's lives.
She will. I wonder about all the, one of the things that keep coming up in the news is people, they want to decriminalize police forces, and they, police in a lot of communities do things that are very good, but there are also a lot of things that are a waste of their time. And I think laws that are stupid are a waste of police time as well. And you're chasing down people who are cancer patients, who are trying to get their drugs a little more affordably. I mean, really, but we're protecting them. I'm like, come on.
Well, and that's something that people need to take into account. When people talk about criminal justice reform, we need to include ourselves in that, because our part to play in criminal justice reform as just a regular resident is to say, I am not going to keep pushing for more and more laws and stronger sentences and heavier fines. Because every time I say, please make a law on X, I am asking for someone to possibly be killed over that.
Yes, because if you break the law, you could die for it.
Absolutely. When you raise the number of overall contacts, you raise the number of possible negative contacts and negative outcomes. So when we talk about criminal justice reform, and this is what drives me nuts, is you will have, and I have seen this past few months, people have been protesting and pushing for criminal justice reform.
Right.
And then they immediately pushed for criminalizing mask mandates with jail times, and they want police enforcement. You cannot have both.
Do you ever see that meme where they have the two buttons? Like you got like criminalization and that, and they're like, ah, that's what that's just what came to my mind.
It is.
And it's so true. Like you can't have both.
You can't have both. And the other thing that I'm saying things that drive Cara nuts. But this is something I do want people to think about is as we head into fall, and I can tell you, we're going to be all heading for more lockdowns. Like that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And the message I want to get out to people is it doesn't matter what you as a person do or don't do. These lockdowns are going to happen regardless.
Yes.
And don't fall for the lie that it's because of what you did or your neighbor did, because that's to get you and me fighting and not trusting each other.
Yes.
This situation that we're in is because of government and their shit response.
Yes.
Their absolute disgusting ass shit response at every single level of government. And yet they want to pretend that it's you and me. And I am not on board with that gaslighting bullshit.
No.
I am not on board with that.
No.
To me, that is like an abusive boyfriend telling you, well, honey, if you hadn't done that, I wouldn't have had to hit you. And that's exactly how I see that.
If you just wore the mask, Cara, I wouldn't have to put you in jail and then almost kill you.
Right. Or I wouldn't have to shut the businesses down or, all that kind of stuff. No. You know what? They screwed this from day one. This is all on them. It's all on them.
It is.
So do not fall into that trap of us fighting amongst ourselves and blaming each other.
Oh, that's what they want. They want us to fight because then we forget who's actually responsible for this.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly it.
We didn't make the pandemic, no, but you reacted to it.
Exactly. Exactly. So just remember, like amongst you and me and everyone, it's love. It's all about the love, right? It's all
Exactly.
about we love each other and we're going to care for one another and we're going to be there for each other and all that kind of stuff. Don't
Yes.
don't fall into the fighting
Hating,
and the hating and all that kind of stuff because
being like calling the what is it, snitch lines on your
it's like,
neighbor. I hate that crap. Be nice to each other. If you know somebody like has lost work, bring them groceries like Kara's done. I know, like, you know, and if you know somebody needs help and it's something you can help with, help. Give them
help.
ride. You know, if they need to go to the doctor, give them a ride to the doctor. You know, don't be a dick. Help people. You know, this is a hard time anyway. We don't
It
need to
is.
be like making people even worse with their mental issues and whatnot. So,
All right,
it's
so we're getting towards the end of the show, and
great.
we do our one awesome thing. And those of you that are watching, you can join in too. If you write down one awesome thing that happened to you this week, it doesn't have to be a big thing. It's just something that was awesome or made you happy or whatever this week. And then we can all celebrate with one another that we're hearing good things happening in this world, that good things are still happening in this world.
They really are. And I talked to you a little bit about like me thinking about like filing for the school board. So that was kind of a big fun thing. But
That's a big fun thing.
it
And
is
that's my big fun thing too if you do it.
I know, right? I was just like, I'm not going to tell Kara about it before the show. I'm going to tell her during the show because it'll be like, I saw your eyes are like,
Yes.
and I'm terrified. But so it's my good thing, but it's my terrifying thing. So not too bad. You know, I got things to look forward to, and that makes me really happy. Plus, all the plotting you and I get to do.
I know. We will plot and plan.
How about you?
You know, I've actually had a fair number of awesome things. I got my nails painted.
Yes, they look gorgeous.
But my awesome thing was probably it's been just hanging out with my husband floating in the pool. You know, we're in a townhome, and so we have an association pool. And yeah, just it's been some wonderful evenings, just him and me, and there's no one else there, and hanging out with him at the pool. I love it.
I love this summer getting to see my husband. I mean, the bad thing is he was furloughed for most of the summer, but
Yep.
the good thing is he was furloughed for most of the summer and I get to see him all the time and we've had a lot of fun. So, I mean, I love that. Spending time with your man. That's lovely. And I know one of his happy places is the pool too. So, you know, you guys are probably both like happy. You know what is it? The otters floating and holding hands.
Yes.
I think
that's me and Tracy.
I love that.
Oh, we have some super sweet things.
Can I put a couple up?
Yes.
Let's see. I'm gonna start from the bottom because
Oh,
loved it. She got it.
I love that.
I know. I offered to do it to my husband, but he's like, I don't know. You're not a professional. Have you been licensed? I'm like, screw you, hippie. So he went to his barber. So that's taken care of.
Oh, I bet this next one is Kay. I don't see the name, but I know that's Kay.
Oh, I'm gonna look on the other one. I bet you anything you're right. Yep, it's Kay Cameron. That's awesome.
Yay! I'm glad you're settling in.
I'm glad. Hope you're loving New Hampshire. That sounds like awesome. Life is good. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she got.
Oh, and Debbie. She did. Debbie, I saw you. She took a photo of where she's camping right now, and I'm jealous because it truly is gorgeous.
I love that.
She has that an incredible spot.
That's so cool. I'm gonna have to look at that picture because that sounds amazing.
It is, and I'm trying to figure out how to get down there. I will for sure see you Wednesday, but I'm trying to get down to you sooner than that, Debbie.
Let's see.
Sun is safe in Portland.
Good.
That is good.
Let's see. Oh, I keep moving down. Oh, here's one. Also from David. Neighbor delivers mail every day plus groceries today.
That's pretty
very
nice. That's pretty damn
Mhm.
nice. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things still happening.
I'm very glad. I like seeing the good news, and it makes
I do
me a
too.
happy kid.
I do too.
Well, I think we're out of time now, Cara.
I know, it went by fast.
Really fast. So next week we might be doing it from a campground, and we'll try. But if we can't, that's why. It's not like because we couldn't try. It's like me trying to do a show at the pool, and it really didn't work. But maybe it'll work. We're gonna see. And we love you guys, and I hope you have lots of good news to share with us next week. And
Yep.
keep fighting the good fight, and send Cara things for her mask. Okay.
Yes.
And tell me, talk me into or out of running for school board in Mankato. So send me that. Yes. And thank you, David. We will have lots of
David. Love you.
Bye, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.